Hi, my name's Ben Throssell, and this is my recording for my final practical assessment for my Certificate 3 and 4. My client's name is Maddie James, and I created the upcoming session plan just for her. I also made sure she knows the location of the training session, and I texted her an hour ago to make sure that she knows to arrive on time. I also checked with the other personal trainers and group exercise instructors to make sure the area that I'm going to use, as well as the equipment that I'm using, isn't going to obstruct any of their sessions, and I reread my session plan to make sure that I fully remember and I'm clear on the session that I'm taking Maddie through today. I also made sure the equipment that I'm planning on using is all fully functional and and I also know exactly where it is in the gym so that we can run smoothly through the session. There aren't any faults or hazards available with any of the equipment, so the client is all safe to train. No changes need to be made to the equipment, and I also checked the training area is safe and there are no potential hazards for my client. She's now arrived for a session. We're just going to go through a pre-exercise screening questionnaire to make sure she's all fit to train, that I'm aware of all her pre-existing conditions. This is Maddie. Okay, so Maddie, just quickly before we start, has your doctor ever told you you have a heart condition, or have you ever suffered a stroke? No? Do you have any unexplained pains in your chest at rest or during physical activity or exercise?
No.
Ever feel faint or have spells of dizziness during physical activity or exercise that cause you to lose balance? Any asthma attacks requiring immediate medical attention over the last 12 months? Diabetes type 1 or 2?
No.
Any trouble controlling your blood glucose in the last 3 months? No? Any diagnosed muscle, bone or joint problems that you've been told could be made worse by participating in physical activity? And any other medical conditions making it dangerous for you to exercise? Great. You can just sign at the bottom there for me. Much. Now, you did mention to me the last time we had a session that you had a bit of an issue with your lower back.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're actually going to go through today is one of the exercises we're going to do with your strength is going to be a back exercise. So we're starting off with a fitness test to work on the flexibility and test how far you've come with your shoulders. After that, we're doing strength and exercise with your chest, an exercise with your back, and an exercise with your legs. Okay, we're also going to finish with 2 types of cardio, and then also something a bit different, some CrossFit style cardio, as it will be doing for today, but I will watch out and make sure that nothing is going to aggravate your lower back. Okay? What I'm going to do now, because Maddie mentioned to me the last time we met that she wanted to work on the flexibility of her shoulders. To test that, we're going to do a shoulder flexibility test today. The equipment we need is a ruler or a tape measure, so I've got a ruler. What I need you to do, Maddie, if you could just turn around so that the camera can see your flexibility there. To test your left shoulder, what we're going to do is if you could stand with your right arm straight up in the air, bend it at the elbow so it hangs behind your head, perfect. Now reach around while you're keeping your upper arm stationary. Yep, reach around and just try and touch your fingers there, perfect. So because Maddie's made full contact there, that means that she has good flexibility. The ratings for this test are just good, fair or poor. To have a rating of good in this, she has to make contact with her fingers. So for her left shoulder, that's completely fine. If you could just reverse that process, so put your left arm up in the air, try and touch behind with your right arm. Alright, and so because she's managed to touch with both sides, that means that she has good flexibility on both sides, both her left and right shoulder. The results of that test where you managed to show flexibility on both your left side and your right side means that you're doing just fine in the shoulder flexibility department. We can work on more mobility, but for the time being, you actually fall in the good category of flexibility for your shoulders, so well done. Now, Maddie, we're going to start with the strength exercises for your workout today. So we'll head out onto the gym floor, do a 5-minute warm-up, and then we're going to move on to your strength, okay? For your warm-up, Maddie, what we're going to go through and do is start off with the first exercise for your chest. We're going to be doing a dumbbell chest press, okay? Now, this exercise is going to need a flat bench as well as dumbbells of the appropriate weight for you. So we're using 4 kilos, which is about 65% of your maximum rep. One thing to keep in mind when you're doing this exercise is make sure you don't go too low at the bottom of the movement, because otherwise you can catch nerves in your shoulder and that'll create an impingement, so just try and avoid that. And the purpose of this exercise is just to tone up your chest as well as your triceps, and it's going to use a bit of the front of your shoulder, your anterior deltoid. But yeah, just to create some tone and some strength across the top of your body there. Alright? I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of how to perform this exercise. So I'm just going to give you a quick explanation and close to the camera so I can hear it as well. When performing your chest press, what I want you to do, just as a point of safety before I go on, make sure that when you start your rep or when you start the exercise, take the weights from your knees back onto your chest and then extend upwards rather than throwing your arms up in the air as you lay back, because that'll put a lot of stress on your shoulder. Okay, but to perform the exercise is pretty simple. What I need you to try and remember is to try and keep your wrists above a joint at all times. So at the top of the movement, when you extend your hands outwards and they're straight up above you, your wrists are going to be right above your shoulders. At the bottom of the movement, as you inhale while you're not exerting yourself, I want you to have your wrists right above your elbows. Okay? When you get to a 90-degree angle, that's perfect. That's as far as I want you to go. Then exhale and exert upwards. Okay? So make sure you're nice and slow and controlled with the movement, but wrists above shoulders at the top, inhale, wrists above elbows at the bottom, exhale, and then wrists back above shoulders again. Okay? So I'll just get you to hop up and I'll go through that with you, okay? Make sure that you keep your core locked on the whole time. Nice and tight in your abs. Nice and strong. Shoulder release that 90-degree angle, so that's perfect. Nice work, Matty. Almost there. Nice one. Alright, great job. Very well done, Matty. Now, when Matty was performing the exercise, I made sure to give her a bit of motivation when she started to struggle, as well as gave her a reminder to keep her core locked on while she performed the exercise, as well as a couple of cues just to make sure her form was right. It was pretty good the whole time, so I didn't need to do much correction there. Just made sure I reminded of all the things that I explained at the very start. With our chest exercise, we're going to move on to our back exercise. And what we're doing today is an assisted pull-up. And the equipment we need for an assisted pull-up is this assisted pull-up machine. Okay. The alternative is you can also use your standard pull-up bar with a resistance band to help you get up, but we'll be going with option 1 today. Okay. The main muscles used for your assisted pull-up, the main muscle is your latissimus dorsi in your back. Okay, as well as there are a couple of synergist muscles in your back, and also your biceps and your shoulders get used. But for today, the primary muscle is your back, is your lats. Okay. A bit of safety. Make sure that when you're performing your rep, when you come to the bottom of the movement, don't let your shoulder just go slack. Okay, I want you to keep it in a nice, tight, firm position. Keep an active shoulder position. So this will be a dead shoulder position. Pulling down just like that, and setting yourself in the joint is an active position. It's safer for the shoulder joint. Okay, but what I'll do now is I'll give you a quick demonstration of how to perform this exercise. Okay, so to perform this exercise with your chin up, your start position is actually a hanging position. So you have your arms above your head, making sure you've got active shoulders. All I want you to do is exhale as you pull yourself upwards, making sure you keep your core locked on. Squeeze your elbows, try and touch your elbows behind your back, and get your chin above the bar. Pause at that position, and then as you lower yourself down, exhale. Then once again, keep your shoulders active. Exhale on the exertion, pull yourself up, squeezing your elbows, and then slowly back down. Okay? Alright, so remember, fully extend at the bottom, you want your, that's the way, alright, and go for it. Perfect. So making sure that you have your core locked on the whole time. Okay, keep your shoulders in an active position. You're doing a great job so far. 3 reps, well done. And 4, perfect. And make sure you squeeze and pause at the top of that rep. 5, 3 to go. 6. Nice work. Alright, last one, Maddie. Remember, keep those shoulders active, core locked in. You're doing really well. Perfect. Nice work. Now is your barbell squat. Okay, so this is going to be the movement we do for your legs. It's actually really, really good for hitting almost every area in your legs, okay? The equipment we're going to use is just a squat rack for safety's sake today, as well as a barbell with the appropriate weight on it. A bit of safety for you, what I want you to do is make sure that when you are performing this exercise at all times you have your core locked in, okay? Because with the load that you're carrying, you know, your legs are one of the stronger muscles in your body, your legs and your glutes, so you want to make sure that you have your core locked on, because having that weight on top of you without being stabilized is really dangerous for your spine. Okay? But yeah, like I mentioned, the main areas you're going to use are your glutes, your quads and your hamstrings, okay, so all the really, really big major muscles of your legs, okay? And what I'm going to quickly do now is just show you how to perform this exercise. There's actually quite a lot that goes into performing this exercise, but to put it nice and simply for you, the important things I want you to remember, okay, number 1, keep your core locked on the whole time. 2, as you lower yourself down, make sure that you inhale, and as you exert yourself coming back up, I want you to exhale, okay? The 4 things to remember when you're doing this exercise is 1, keep your chest proud and out, and your butt back as far as it can go. So chest proud, bum out, then just your back straight and tilt at your hips. It's as simple as that, okay? Make sure that at the bottom of the movement that you have your legs just below parallel. Oh, sorry, your knees and your hips. So your hip crease should be below your knee, okay? Don't go any lower than that, there's no need to, but apart from that, as soon as you go past 90 degrees, just stand back up. Remember, you're breathing the whole time like I mentioned. Okay, let's go for it. So I'm going to go through and show you how to perform a push-up for someone with high blood pressure, just for demonstration's sake. The reason we do this is just because for someone who has high blood pressure, to put them at that angle is going to aggravate all of the symptoms that come with having high blood pressure. So by having them standing up and not having any limbs above their head or anything like that, it's going to be much safer for them to do. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration now.